Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London, and this morning I'm looking at a book which has come to us from TOLLEY'S LexisNexis. It's an important one for people who are accountants and people as counsel or solicitors involved in revenue law, and it's called TOLLEY'S Tax Computations 2014 to 15. An intricate area of law and a difficult one for many people. It's been written by the TOLLEY'S editorial team, and Elizabeth and I have given it a review title from TOLLEY'S, A Practical Guide to Computing Tax for Practitioners. Here's the book. It's a paperback. It's not a particularly heavy book, this one, not a big one. There's the front, the spine and the back. You can see there's quite a lot of information on the back there. It's it runs to 750 pages almost. Very much the house style of TOLLEY'S. You can see the index back there. And then you've got a huge amount of information about examples all the way through. I'm just going to take them. You see very complex information. You've got to be good at mathematics for this book. There's the front of it. Been written, in fact, it's got the names of the people. Kevin Walton, who many of you will know, David Smales and Rhiannon Davis are the team. Do read the note about the book, about what it's in aid of. It's now established as an annual publication. And then you've got the contents there. I'll show you that. Then we run through, because there's quite a lot there. There we go. You see the different areas of law covered, or rather tax covered. Then you've got a very useful abbreviations, always of help in this area because it's so difficult to remember some of the abbreviations. You've got those, and then the statutes themselves, quite a lot of statutes, and then we go into the statutory instruments as well there, and then we go into the actual start, the main area, income tax, and it goes all the way through with examples. So you see how it's done. It's set out as examples. A little bit of paragraph numbering on the side there. Obviously there's no footnotes as such, because what you've got is you've got within the actual examples given, you've got notes all the way through. And I think this is a very, very helpful. I wouldn't call it a ready reckoner as such, but it's certainly very helpful when you're actually involved in this particular quite difficult area. Now let me just say it's a relatively short review that we've written, but this is what we say about it. At a conference of chartered accountants at a venue in North America, it was stated that a couple of hundred years ago, Dr. Johnson's then new and revolutionary dictionary defined an accountant, quote, as a computer. You might also say one who computes, which is not far off the title of its useful manual from TOLLEY'S. After all, it's called Computations. Published by LexisNexis, the book contains over 500 clearly presented examples, illustrating how tax may be calculated in any number of instances. The book itself is divided into 6 parts, covering the 5 main taxes, namely income tax, corporation tax, capital gains tax, inheritance tax and value-added tax. Then you've got the NIC contributions. Subject areas within each chapter are listed alphabetically and cross-referenced, and we start with the income tax section. So the section on income tax commences with allowances and tax rates and then ends with venture capital trusts. So it's got a logical structure all the way through, depending on what you're looking for. As I say, it's very much the house style of LexisNexis and TOLLEY'S, and so you'll find the index quite helpful. It's detailed and very helpful at the back. As Tax Journal has commented, this book lays out arithmetical precedents for all the computations that you are likely to come across in practice. And note too that this edition contains updated computations which reflect changes brought about by the Finance Act 2014, now in force. I'm recording this in the almost the spring of 2015, prior to the general election, so we may well get some changes in May of this year. We'll have to wait and see. It's not merely an arid book of figures and calculations, this book. The commentary and notes which accompany most of the computations are both enlightening and practical. The book also contains statutes in forms of tables and statutory instruments. And as a further aid to navigation, as I say, there's the useful index which you'll find at the back. Yes, Computing, i.e. computation, is the accountant's or tax practitioner's core skill. If you practice as an advisor in any area of tax, you would do well to acquire this book. It will certainly assist you with their trickier aspects of figure work when going through client papers. In short, this is a book that can help you determine what to do and how to do it with respect to the main aspects of tax. If from time to time you find yourself contemplating an apparently impenetrable block of figures, this book is your friend, as it decomplicates the often complicated aspects of tax law. It ideally should be regarded as a time-saving purchase by every tax practitioner or advisor, and the publication date is cited at 2014 to take account of the current legislation. Let's just look at it again very quickly. Front, spine and the back. And if we just open it up, we just overpaid tax. Here we go. Repayment arising from carryback of losses, for instance, there. And you can see the notes there. There's the computation and then the notes, which give you a very useful idea of how you can go about this. I think it's of great help. This is inheritance tax. Again, you have a nice index effectively at the front to go through with this particular area of tax, and you should be able to find on an A to Z basis, you should be able to find what you're looking for quite quickly. And again, you've got the computation and then the notes. I think it's an excellent book. Thank you to the TOLLEY'S editorial team for producing it, and to all the people involved. It's obviously a detailed work. It's not the easiest area. It's very helpful, this book, for barristers and solicitors involved in revenue law if you have a particular problem that you need to look at in a lot of detail. And obviously a lot of people have problems with mathematics. Let's be quite clear about it. I think this goes a long way to help. So thank you to all concerned. Bye bye.